Hey guys, welcome to the Essential Show. It's your boy Stevie Hayes, and we're joined by Nairi and Austin. How y'all doing, yo? Like, what's good?
Hey, I'm excited to be here. Excited to see my boy Austin, man.
Yeah, we finally conjured the busiest alumni from St. George's. We finally got him on a podcast. How you doing, man? What's up?
What's going on, man? Chilling, dude. Same old. Just happy to be with my guys.
Yeah, man. So, obviously, like we're not going to touch on this too. We're not going to touch on this too much, but obviously, you just came back from your first win in your amateur fight. How are you feeling? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing now? What is like the next step for you?
I gotta correct you on that one. That's second win. But in reality,
Oh,
it is
sorry,
it.
second one. My bad.
No. It is my first one because if you ain't get a finish, it ain't count. I didn't finish my first guy, so yeah, I'll give it to you. 1-0. Ain't nothing changed, dude. The goal is still the goal, and these are just little bricks that we're stacking up, and I've always told everybody I think my floor is like the UFC, so just want to keep on stacking, keep on going, back to work.
Good, good. Yeah, I know you're like taking the week off to rest and stuff. So I'm happy that we were able to get you on here. But today, guys, we're here to talk about really just the truth about sports, the truth about high school sports, the truth about college sports. And I thought that I would get two athletes from two different spectrum. Obviously, we have Nairi, who played high school football, played a little bit of D1 college. And then we also have Austin, who won as who technically, and he hates to even bring this up. He technically is a Delaware State champion. To him, it means nothing. And then he also went to Arizona State, which is a D1 wrestling program, and he was there for his college career. So I just wanted to get I really want to speak to a lot of you young guys who aspire to be athletes. I want you to learn from these two, and because I believe that the moral of the story, and I think the main point that you're going to get from both of these guys is this: follow your own path. Don't listen to anyone else. Do what you think is right. You know what I mean? So, first off, Austin, let's just get your athletic story from Pee Wee to now.
All right, so grew up playing football. Like that was like my dream forever, man. Like, man, I remember I used to be crying on Sunday. We watching Sunday night football. I was so sad because it meant we just played our game on Saturday, and it means I gotta wait till next Saturday to play. And it means I gotta go through school all week just to be able to play again. Uh, so yeah, man, started with football. I was a stud when I was a kid, and then it was one of the best things ever happened to me. But being naturally good, dude, I didn't think I had to work hard. So then, like as I started getting older, kids started becoming the same size as me. Like, I mean, I'm a big kid now, 6'4", 190. I was a real big little kid, and then everybody started matching me in size. And then, like, I started seeing like some real athletes, and I wasn't the best guy on the field no more. And honestly, at some points, throughout middle school and stuff, like sometimes I wasn't even getting PT. So it hurt. I don't know if I can cuss or not, but that hurt, man. Like, so then it taught me that, hard work wins. And I started doing wrestling just to get into being a better football player. And I played all the sports. I played basketball, baseball, I played everything. But, football and wrestling were my two sports. And I started wrestling to get better at football, and I just loved it, man, because that's what taught me hard work. And, I didn't win for my first 2 years, and ended up coming in freshman year, didn't place at conference tournament, didn't place at a state tournament. uh, Sophomore year, I ended up placing at the conference tournament. I took third, which was a big deal because I beat a returning state placer, and then I ended up placing in the state. I was like the 10 seed, and I ended up placing the state. And then that was the year I decided no more football because I wanted to be the best at wrestling. And that's how my mindset is with everything. I don't want to be just mediocre or average or just good at anything. I want to be the best. So I'd rather go all in. And that's what I did, man. Junior year, I looking at myself, some people may disagree, but look, I think I should have won a title my junior year, but the pressure got to me, and my dad sat me down. I took third place at year states, which was still, it was jump because the year before I took sixth, so I'm still getting better. But my dad sat down. He's like, "Look, if you are gonna work this hard, you're gonna perform, and if you're not gonna perform, you're done. Like you're gonna go get a job. You're gonna go, do some regular human stuff. You know what I mean?" So then it was like in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I want to be the best. I don't work this hard just to, fall short of my goals because the lights are bright. And then senior year, man, came in number 3 seed. Uh, and I beat a guy in the semifinals I never beat before, 0-3 against him, and I beat a guy senior or in the finals that I never beat 0-3 against both those guys, and dominated dude in the finals. And it was funny because that dude was always talking heavy on me, so it felt good to go beat him. But one state chip, and then it's just on to the next page. Went off to Arizona State. A lot of people told me not to. Uh, yeah, man, I just chased my dreams, man. I've always been the hardest worker in the room. And Arizona State top 5 program all 4 years, but I came in and I made my mark. I ended up beating the Pac-12 champ. I've done a lot of good things. I still think it's I had 2 more years left of eligibility. I still think a lot of questions were left unanswered, but I'm perfectly fine with that as I move into my MMA career because it's just gonna make it that much more sweet.
Thank you. Perfect. All right, now Nairi, give me your story, bro, from Pee Wee all the way till like the end of your college career.
Yeah, so I dabbled and dabbled in other sports such as soccer and track. Those were just some sports I did on the side. I really enjoyed um playing those sports. But football was really like my true passion. I played from the age of 9. That's when I first started. Anybody in Delaware know NCCFL? I started there and then made my way to MOT football in Middletown. Played in middle school, and football is my passion. I really had my dad as like my true supporter, and me and him just like died. Even my older brother, he played for McCain, had scholarships, um, Georgia Tech, Clemson, all that. So football like kind of ran in the family for us. So then I went to high school, went to St. George's. All three of us did, um, and I started. Well, I didn't start, but I played. I traveled varsity all 4 years, um, and I didn't start until my junior year of high school, where I started. But it wasn't really until my senior year where like I actually had like a ball out season. Like I think I was like tied in the state, leading the state for like interceptions and I think for interception yards. It was like it was a remarkable year. But for me, one of the biggest things was from my junior and my senior year, I had a real big change, not in just my performance, but in my spirituality. So actually, my junior year and my senior high school is when I gave my life to Christ. And going into my senior year, like I really upped my performance. I learned to like stop being hard on myself, stop letting things go, and my performance excelled. And so I played DB, I played corner in high school, I played a little bit of safety, and so I was granted the opportunity to play at Delaware State University, HBCU, Division 1 football program, and where I came in, but not like everything didn't exactly go how I planned it. Some unexpected turns, injuries, just changes in coaching staff, things that just kind of didn't work in my favor to a kind of a point where I decided to just kind of let it go going into my junior year actually. And I focused all that. I said I'm just gonna focus all of it on school, and that was always my plan B my whole life. I always said if whatever I did with sports, I'm going to transition to something else, and I'm going to give it my all, regardless of what happens in life. But football is still my passion. I can still talk about it all day, watch it all day, no matter what, and I can always go back on the memories about life. But yeah, it's a little bit about myself.
Good, good. Okay, so obviously, like you guys had that transition from high school to college, right? So like, you go from you're in high school sports, and you will both agree that that high school and college is a really big transition, right? You would
Mhm.
say it's two different, like it's levels, like it's like definitely in our state. Because would y'all agree that Delaware sports are a little like lower class? Would that be correct to say, or in the grand scheme of like other
I
athletes in
wouldn't say
the
that. I would
country?
say Delaware is very overshadowed,
Yeah,
uh, because we're in between some of the best states in all sports. Like for wrestling, PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Virginia, Ohio, those are all amazing. I know they're the same for football. I mean, you got Cali and Florida and stuff, but those are some powerhouse states. I feel like we get overshadowed. Now, I don't think we Delaware has depth like the other states, but I do
Hmm.
know that we're top heavy. Like our top, our top guys can compete with anybody in the country. It's just we don't have that depth like somewhere like Florida for football, man. The eighth guy on the roster is just as good as the first guy, and both of them could be covering ground.
yeah, I agree. I think there's a lot of talent in Delaware, especially for football. I could speak on, but a lot of it is just recognition. I think the recognition in other states like say like Florida, Alabama, a lot of them schools that are ranked ESPN wise, they kind of already, I won't say have given an opportunity, but they're in a better position than someone I would say from Delaware.
Good. So here's my so like the similar story that I kind of get between you two is that um you guys kind of hit a point where you kind of plateaued your junior year. Like you were kind of like not average, but you weren't where you wanted to be. And then it seems like in both of your senior years, you both hit this like this stride, this, and I saw it obviously because I'm your friends. So like you guys are my best friends. I saw you guys both hit this like you guys kind of like overcame that mountaintop. Now, can you both tell me, like, what did you do? How did you do it? Why? Like, what made you go over that mountaintop and and basically play and wrestle the best season of your life? Like, how did that happen?
Go ahead, huh?
Um, like I said before, my junior year going in my senior year, I was really critical on every single play I made, especially being a football game and being a corner. Like you got to have a next play mentality in the sport or any sport that you play. Um, and it was like really hard. I try to figure everything out on my own. But my like I said, my junior year going to my senior year, that's when I started going to church. That's when I gave my life to Christ. That's when I seen a transformation like in my heart and then like in my mentality. I started to like let things go, just be myself on the field and like just natural instincts of playing football for all my life. Like I just, and of course all the work that I've put in um with my friends and myself, like all that like translated onto the field and like I seen a huge improvement. Just had fun, really, honestly, just had fun. Balled out and I was like, I'm just gonna do my thing. Like I got 1 year left. Like why not?
Yeah, Oss.
Man, I would say very similar. I've always believed in God, but I didn't quite give myself. I wouldn't say I truly gave my life up to God until I came to college. But with the mindset, uh, the work, my work was consistent throughout all my years, and like obviously every year I got better and I started working a little bit harder. But as a whole, that was a linear growth. But man, it was my mentality. I just realized like when my dad, we sat down and we had that talk, and it was just like, man, first off, I'm so fortunate to have all the opportunities that I do have because, I was training with some of the best guys, not just in the state of Delaware, but in the country. You know what I mean? So, I was getting some private lessons from some of the best guys. I was training every day. I mean, we changed our garage to a wrestling room. Stevie knows. Stevie helped me get ready for state. Stevie ain't know what the heck he was doing, but that dude, I just told him, I said, "Hey, you stand right here. I'm gonna get my work in." And yeah, man, it was just a mentality of just like I just work too hard, dude. And it's like I seen so many people that like I grew up with, and when I was a kid, like they were the same age as me, and they were so good. Like they were so good growing up. And it's like the older we got, the more that like the pressure got to them. And there's some kids that I know that were way better wrestlers than me. And I know Nari can uh most likely agree to this is like there's a lot of athletes like in our neighborhood and on our school teams that were so much more athletic, so much more talented than we were, but they just couldn't let it fly. You know what I mean? And I saw a lot of kids on my high school or on my high school club wrestling team that were so much better wrestlers than me, but they couldn't let it fly. And the difference between me and them is, because of my work and my preparation, I was able to let it fly because, all I could do is what I could do. I try my hardest. I work my hardest. Can't do nothing else. You know what I mean? Everything else is out of my control. And so I just controlled what I could control, worked my butt off, and had that mindset, just let it fly.
Good. That's good stuff. So, Nairi, I know that your probably worst and most embarrassing year was probably your junior year of high school, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Austin, what would you say is your most embarrassing high school season? Would you say it was when you went third place, or like were you the most upset then?
Yeah, that's when I was most upset for sure. Freshman year, I didn't know what I was doing, dude. Like went to Glasgow High School, and we had a great coach in terms of, man, that dude cared. That dude cared so much, but like we didn't really get all the technical. I mean, they were all football coaches, so like they didn't really understand wrestling. He started getting into it later. Sophomore year was a big jump. Junior year, yeah, I thought I was gonna win. I thought I was gonna win. So that's
Okay. So my question is, what was the biggest lesson that you guys took from each of those years? Because obviously that is what kind of catapulted you guys to, that no that status of like, yo, like my confidence is like at an all-time high. I know that I can do this. What was the biggest lesson that you guys learned? Awesome.
I'd say, I mean, just like I said, man, let it fly because I ended up going against this bare minimum. I should have took second place my junior year. The kid in the finals was one of my good buddies. We trained together, and he would beat me a lot in the practice room. But just me being the athlete and competitor, I truly feel like I could have beat him, especially when the lights are bright and everything's on the line. But I didn't even get to that point because in the semifinals, I just choked, man. I froze up, man. It was like, man, this is my opportunity. Like I'm gonna make it to the finals. Uh, and I didn't even take it one match at a time, and I ended up losing 7-0 to this kid in the state semifinals, and then I go wrestle him a week later at this other tournament, and I beat him 8-1. So it's like absolutely
Dang.
demolished him. And the difference was, I mean, he had all the confidence in the world. He just dominated me. So he's coming in the same way. The difference is there was no way I'm letting this dude beat me again. I'm better than him in every aspect, and I work too hard. And then just let it fly, man. Just let my work show for itself.
Yeah, I like that. Nairi?
yeah. Just the way I catapulted myself was really just letting go and just like playing, just enjoying what I'm doing. Like I'm out here, I'm doing something I love, and that's like a lesson I learned. Just like if you're doing something you love, like you don't gotta worry, but you just do what you do the training that you've done on your off seasons, the stuff that you've been doing your whole life, and it's a sport you've been playing your whole life. Like I mean, it's nothing to really like lock in or harp on or be too hard on yourself. Like, or even if like somebody listening and you're a high schooler and you're in your junior year going into your senior year, or even if you are a senior, like, and you just feel like you don't, you just feel like you like underlooked or you not seen, just like, just keep doing what you are doing. Keep putting in the work. Just keep making sure that you stay locked in. And what for me, that really locking in and being focused on God and Him giving me like the strength and the mentality every time I stepped on the field, or like really helped me catapult. So yeah,
Yeah, I feel like you know, in this like in this way of high school, and just high school I think high school humbled all of us to an extent, because like, and Austin, you are on mute, by the way, unmute yourself. And like, by the way, what high school at least taught me from sports, which I've kind of applied to daily life, and we see it now with a lot of people that we graduated with, is that your talent can only take you so far in life. Like there comes a point to where you have to figure it out, and there's no jump shot, no football throw, there's nothing that you can do to really make something happen. It's all about, are you putting in the work? Are you willing to perform in the moment? And that's in everything, right? I mean, y'all would agree. But the main thing that I think a lot of people miss, and for the young athlete or someone that is watching, I think the main thing that people don't do nowadays is be consistent. They don't put in the time and they don't put in the work. You know what I mean? And then they go out and then they expect to perform the best. but if you're not working, you're not going to see any improvement. So, from the both of you guys, like, how important is being consistent? Because I mean, you can even work hard and your work isn't even productive. Like there's a such thing as like you can put in work and you're not getting anything done. How have you guys been so focused on putting in work, but it's also productive and you're improving? And well, Austin, you are still improving at crazy rates, and Nairi, you improved at like a crazy rate. How do you keep that balance? You know what I mean?
Who
Yeah,
you want to go? Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I could say I can speak for both sides of when I played and even now. Like when I played into any athlete, like they're saying like like Austin said, there can be someone with all the talent in the world, and if they're not consistent, no matter what who you are, you can outwork that person. I don't care like how talented they are, you can always outwork them. And that is what consistency brings. Like consistency is like developing constantly. And I mean, even like outside of that, when I was done sports, it was like, all right, what's next? Like, all right, focus on education, stay consistent with that, and where that has taken me into having a career and still being connected with sports and still going to school, graduating from college, being consistent and serving, even starting up a podcast, being consistent with that. Like there are so many like sports can translate so easily into your next part of your life, and it doesn't have to just end right where you are or when it's over. Like you can keep continuing working towards something, and even if you are in the gym, someone that just let's just simply say in the gym, if you want the results, you gotta stay consistent and doing the little things, and they all add up. That's that's
Yeah,
that's all it's about.
bet. Awesome.
I mean, I would agree, man. I think a lot of it has to come down to lifestyle. I think that's a good word to use. Like you said, a lot of people work hard, and a lot of people have the talent already. But the difference between me and a lot of these other guys that I was beating is they were only working hard for the 3 months that we're in season, and I was
Mm,
working hard 12 months out of the year, every single day, and it's always on my mind. And I mean, you can attest to this. Like, bro, I missed out on a lot in high school when it comes down to like social life and friends. But I chose that. No one made me do that. I wanted to do that, and that. But with that came a state title. If I went to a couple parties, or if I went down to the beach a couple times with my friends instead of training, who knows? I mean, I very well could have won a state title, but I also very well couldn't have. And you know, I think I attest a lot of my success to the lifestyle, and I eat good, I train good, and I live the right life, and it keeps me confident. But and I think, like how Nairi said, I haven't had the opportunity to translate it into life yet, or a quote unquote real life. Like right now, my job is I'm still an athlete, uh, but I have real big entrepreneurial dreams. And I think it's going to translate really well because it's just that obsessiveness. I'm just obsessed with whatever I'm doing, man. It's all in. There is no just like half in, half out. It's everything.
yeah, good, good. So, my next question for you guys is like, do you feel like high school prepared? Like, do you feel like high school and your high school coaches prepared you for the next level, or did you have to prepare yourself?
Absolutely not. I'll start off. Nah, especially high school. My high school coaches did not. I don't want to come off as disrespectful or anything, but
Yeah,
if they had a system in place and it necessarily wasn't meant for me, my coach was literally like 5'1" and try to make me wrestle like I'm 5'1" and I'm 6'4". And we he I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just
no,
being
no,
serious.
sorry. You just make me laugh. Keep going.
He felt like there was only one way to, one style to wrestle, and that style was never going to be me. Uh
Yeah,
and then also with the mentality too is like, man, and I see it a lot, especially in MMA right now, is like, dude, sometimes there's people like me. I'm not gonna go in and be like, man, I'm about to kill this dude. Like that's just not me. Like I'm a
yeah,
happy-go-lucky. Like you're gonna see me. I'm gonna be not cocky, but just very confident. And like you can see, I mean, I guess it could be a little arrogant to some people. It's like it's just, but it comes off of me. And my high school coaches also were very similar in the sense of like, you gotta be angry, you gotta be serious, you can't be friends with the other guy. Like, bro, we go to a wrestling duel, me, I'd see all my friends for that I wrestle with that club. What do you mean I'm not gonna go say hi? I'm going against this guy, not the whole team. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I don't think high school prepared me at all. And if anything, it probably held me back because a lot of those people didn't believe in me, nor did they want me to succeed in how I plan. Uh, I give it all to my mom and my dad. You know, they kept me on
Mm,
track and they helped me believe that, you know, like I could do what I want to do, and I'm not crazy for thinking it. You know.
yeah. Nine.
Yeah, I would say they helped me to an extent, like definitely with getting looks with college and
Simba
meetings. Like,
Wildin back there, bro. I saw.
Crazy, bro.
Sorry, keep going, Ari.
are you good? I definitely felt like getting set up with colleges and sitting down and meeting, like they definitely looked out for me. And the stuff that I learned, they was all beneficial. But I think a lot, like for the next level, it's kind of like hard to prepare like with college football, because once you get in, like college, high school football is different in college, because in college it's like a business. Like, and I know Austin, you kind of can attest to that, but like with football, like when you come in, you already got 3, 4 guys that's already penciled in for like 3 years, and you are never guaranteed any position. And they're very, I would say, true. Like in college, they're very choosy with their players based on scholarships, like who they sign is who they rocking with, and the coach that recruits them is rocking with them in most cases. So you it's a lot to prove. Um, but I feel like a lot of it came from my hard work, and like Austin said, like a lot of work that I put in um, throughout like the off seasons. And even with my father, like me and him, well, he was like my number one like trainer. Um, but yeah, to an extent, I feel like I was really prepared until I got to that level, and the rest of it was like figuring out myself.
Yeah. So like do you think that is the problem is like there's so many like politics and money and scholarships and stuff involved that can get in the way of the actual art of the sport?
Hold on, I actually have a question for Nari. How, like, in what ways did they prepare you and it translated into college? I'm just honestly curious because I didn't have that experience. So I feel like everything when I went to college, it was all a brand new experience. And the hardest part about it was, man, I'm so family oriented. And I, growing up, everything was with my mom and my dad. Like,
Yeah.
such a mama's boy, just a family boy. And I went out to college all on my own. Uh, and you know, I had to literally figure it out all out on my own. You know what I mean? So I want to
Are
know how high school actually translated.
are you speaking on as far as the sport aspect, or like
Just
college
everything,
itself?
because you know how classes, the practice, like, to me,
Oh,
training,
no.
we had totally different training. Like, it just
Yeah,
like that, it
yeah.
just never was not
Yes.
even close to the
Yeah,
same.
yeah. It was, so training wise, like strength and conditioning was completely different. Um, but translating in from high school coaches training you to like strength and conditioning coaches training you, that I felt as if, no, I wouldn't say I was prepared. Sports, like sports specific stuff that came down to like drills, technique, all that. I felt like sports wise, I was ready because of high school. But I think the transition of like classes, um, just like the day of starting at 5 and finishing like at 9 p.m. every day, that was not I was not prepared for that at all my freshman year. But I kind of had to figure a lot of stuff out. I think the only thing that I was really prepared was like the actual like technique in the sport of football.
Yeah, like like so like is it so would you I'm trying to word this question. So would you say that like oh yeah, back to my question before, like do you think that like all of the scholarships and stuff kind of get in the way of the actual art of the sport or for giving someone like like the chance? You know what I mean? Like kind of like how like who's that dude from like LSU
Uh,
Joe.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah, like think about him, right? He was a backup for Dwayne Haskins. I mean, he got beat out for the spot, and
Yeah.
then he goes to another college and has had one of the like greatest college careers ever.
Yeah,
Like
it's really all on who you know, especially like with football. Like it translates from college and it translates to the NFL, but it really is on who knows you and who you come in with. Can sometimes get in the way. It's half like putting in the work, proving your spot. But if somebody just flat out is with somebody else, sometimes like it can be hard to ever get that chance. Joe Burrow, um, similar to like a lot of college players, get that opportunity. And it's different with college because, you know, when you come in, everyone is the same exact talent, like said. So even like freshmen can, I'll be a senior in college and they could take, and that scholarship can be taken. I've known a lot of people that transferred just because of scholarship situations. So, yes, it can get in a way, and it can take away the love for some people. Some people don't really care. Like they put in the work, they do what they gotta do, they gonna earn it. But for others, I think that a scholarship is important because like college cost, and at that point, like you need that money. Some people need that money, like for them scholarships. And if they go to another program, like they may have another opportunity, but at that point, like you're just going from college to college, and then
yeah,
it's like, at what point do you are you really still enjoying the sport or where you are in that point? And I think a lot of guys are. I just think like that transfer portal and trying to make it like it's a tough process.
yeah. Oh, do you have anything or no?
Yeah, I would agree with Nairi. I think a lot of people go about college sports differently. Some people use the scholarship as a vehicle to get onto the next part of life. Like, uh, I mean, it's just that's just simply put. Like you want to think and say that like everybody comes to college to be the best athlete. Like they're coming to try and either make the league or they want to be all American, whatever it is. It's not the case, man. A lot of guys just come in and use it to get their education and move on to the next part of life because they maybe don't see another chapter after college. Uh, and then the other thing is it's sort of like a stock. It's like if you purchase a stock, the only way you lose out on your value is if you cut it, right? So I had a couple situations in college where like I felt like I wasn't getting a fair shade necessarily in the sense of I'm competing against a scholarship kid, a kid who came in on scholarship, and I had to do triple what he would have to do just to get the same looks. And I did.
Dang.
I did do that. I worked my butt off. And you got to come in, especially when you're the walk on, prefer walk on, whatever it is. I got academic scholarship, but it's because wrestling has a different way of doing about football. You get like 100 scholarships. Wrestling, you only get 9, and you have a roster of 40. So there's not a lot of athletic scholarship going around. But I worked my butt off, and I know I had to earn my stripes. But you know, coming into that 4th year, I was thinking like, man, I'm the man. Like it's my time now. Like I've earned my stripes. Now it's time to ride. And I just had troubles with I didn't necessarily see eye to eye with the coaches, and I don't blame them, man. It's a business. They got to do whatever's best for them. They put thousands of dollars into this one kid. They need him to pan out. Otherwise, it looks bad on them. Uh, so I understand, but yeah, man, it's all about using it as a certain vehicle. For me, dude, going to school, I went to school and I say I got a degree in wrestling. Yeah, I got a degree in real estate and business, but I went to school purely for wrestling, man. I was not gonna go get a degree just as a regular student. That's not for me. Not saying it's bad, just not for me.
Yeah. So like, and like we all have convos about this off air a lot, and it's really about like the point of we see a lot of people where we're like, yo, they just need to hang it up. Like, like your focus ain't there. You're just gonna hurt yourself. You're just not like you're kind of just stagnant. Like so, like um, as I said, I know we've had combos about it, but and I kind of want to have that same combo here. Um, like just tell me your guys' thoughts on that. Like why do athletes do that? Why there's some athletes where like they're just their heart's not there, but for some reason they keep on staying in the sport. It's like their 20th year in college, or they're still trying to do something in, but they're not putting in any work, or they're not putting in the work that they should, and so they're not seeing the like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why do people do that? You know what I mean?
People are scared to be white belts in life again. You know, you go to sport for college. I mean, you're the top 1%. You go Division 1, you're the top 1% of whatever you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Uh, and people don't want to. I like using a white belt analogy because I fight MMA now. But a white belt's to start. You're a beginner. You're a learner. You're a student. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys are top 1%. It's so hard to go from being the best at something, even if you're the worst on your college team and you're Division 1, you're still the top 1% in the world at what you do. Like that's crazy to think about. So
yeah,
it's hard for them to think about letting that go and having to be just a quote unquote average person, which to everybody else it's not like that, but to them they've only been the best at what they do for so long, so they don't know nothing else. They don't know a life after football, wrestling. It's a hard thing for me, dude. Like I'm so excited for my next journey, for my next path, but it's scary to think a life without sports, and not in the sense of like thinking I can't succeed. I know I'll succeed, and I have, like I said, I'm super excited about other ventures. But man, for 23 years, my life has been consumed of sports and training and practice and eating right, and everything goes into that one thing. It's going to be very weird when I'm 35, 40 years old and I'm moving on to a completely different chapter in my life. But I'm excited for it.
yeah. But also, I mean, you've kind of dabbled in with your performance stuff,
Yeah.
and keep it a buck. I mean, if you didn't let off the gas, I think that would be your full time right now.
Yeah, right now, but definitely not long term.
Yeah,
For me, it's like scaling. There's a lot of things I would love to do. I just have to learn to do it. And just, I mean, even getting into MMA, dude, there's a lot of guys that are much better wrestlers than me, but they're not willing to step outside the box because, my first month I went down to Brazil for a month and a half, and just on the first day I probably got choked out 50 times. They were calling me sleepy. Like it was just like a whole big joke. And it's like,
that's
man,
crazy.
you're a Division 1 wrestler. Yeah, I'm gonna take you down, but what do I do now? So I was a white belt at that, and my growth in just over a year has been unprecedented. I couldn't have seen it coming the way it's came. Uh, but yeah, dude, it's I I don't know necessarily what avenue I'm gonna want to go in. There's a lot of different places I would love or things I would
Yeah,
love to do, but it just takes some time, and I think a platform will help a lot with that too.
yeah. So you're saying that pride is really the reason why people have a hard time kind of like giving up the dream. It's like when like do you guys remember when Joe Rogan and he had Brendan Schaub on
Yeah.
and Austin? I pray that I don't have to have this convo with you like 15 years from now. You know what I mean? I probably won't because you're not that dumb. But love you, Schaub. But anyways, but like, do you remember the episode when he was like, bro, like he basically was like, bro, like you're not there anymore. Like you don't got it. You know what I mean? Um, and do you like not read. Do you think that pride is a big reason why, or do you think it's like something else? I mean,
Um,
did you have a hard time giving up football your senior year?
yeah, it's identity, like identity and something that
Facts.
you've done like your literal whole life. And I when we talk about the ones that are playing college football still, um, it's the fact that like all you've known is this sport. And as a football player, like you know that you have your season, and then every August, like that, it's like a clocking ahead, like a calendar. Like every year it comes, and you're prepared for that. But when it's done, you're like, I'm in fall in August, and I feel like I should be strapping up, but I'm like applying for a job now, and it's like, what do I do with this time? What, like, you're so used to, if you're in high school, you school all day and then you got practice, or if you're in college, you start at 5:30 until whatever, or off season work, like all that, like it's all on your mind. And then when you translate that, like people, it's hard to like give that up, and especially the people that have like grown an identity of always like, say from Pee Wee, like they always been told like, yo, you're the kid, like you're the star in high school, you're the star. Even in college, like you're known. It's like when you get to the real world, it's like, all right, so what do you do? What happened to you? Like, and people are scared to step into that new journey as if it's like, like sports is everything, and that's what their identity is wrapped in. And then And for me, it was something that I was wrapped in, and it took me like a good couple years to like, I guess, adjust to like, you know, being able to finish with school and not worry about like having practices or playing or strapping up. It's hard, like it's really hard.
Yeah.
And that's all you know. And it's something that's like, and for a lot of people, it's a passion too. So like something they just don't want to give up, and that's just what it is
Yeah.
identity.
I've been saying to a lot of athletes that, hey, if you love the sport so much, talk about it, make a YouTube, you'll make money. That's all I'm saying. I was like, if you don't want to work, start a YouTube, you'll make bread. So my next question for you guys is like, now that you guys have been through this course of like Pee Wee, elementary, middle school, high school, college, if your son so if you have a son, right, and he comes and says, yo, dad, I want to be a wrestler like you were. I want to play football like you were. Can you both tell me like the route that you would make them go? Because obviously, like at the parent, you decide what they're going to do. How would you govern that since you've been through it and you've done right and wrong things? How would you go?
You good now?
If son or daughter, whatever, like I'm gonna be a person, whatever they want to do, I just say pursue with all your heart and your passion. Like it don't gotta be sports, but if it is sports, um, I would be there because like myself, I know the grind. Like if it comes to the sport, I play football. If they don't want to play it, that is totally. I ain't gonna be that parent that's gonna be like, "What's wrong with like you don't you need to strap up like you need to play." Nah, like I'm gonna be that parent. Or if my son be like, "Yo, I want to play football," I'm like, "Great, I played for this many years. Like I can teach you as much as I know, and I'm gonna help him to see if he really wants to passionate. But if he doesn't, it's no point in me trying to help out because all it's gonna do is lead to a passion that they really don't have, or an injury, or just you know a, a crack in their character, which I
Yeah.
don't like. I want it to be to something they love or whatever in life. So
Yeah.
that's how I
Off.
approach it.
Yeah. Good, bro. Us. How would you go about it, homie?
I'm right there. I'm right there with Nye. I mean, out the womb, there's no question about it. All my kids are doing gymnastics, and I got this whole theory on sports, bro. Like on why I think sports are so important just for life in general, whether they want to take it to the next level in college or not. My kid is going to. There's no question about it. They're going to play an individual sport, meaning like something like gymnastics, where it's like you versus you. Then they're going to be in a team sport because you're going to have to learn how to communicate with others. Because something like football. The reason why I hated it so much is like I could work my butt off, but the guy next to me might not. And then guess what? Whenever they blow through the line and they go tackle Scooter or Deuce or something like that, and it's like you know no matter how hard I work, bro, he could blow it for me. But you need to learn that in life. You know what I mean? And those skills are really big because when you think about getting a job or running a business or anything along those lines, communication is always number one. Even relationships. And then lastly would be just a one-on-one sport where you're going.
You're good. Keep going. You're good.
Hey, relax, bro. Um, so like a one-on-one sport such as wrestling or boxing or anything along those lines, because uh you gotta be able to compete against somebody and know that they're coming for your head, and you gotta protect yourself. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the best thing. It's like there's a lot of fear that comes into when you wrestle or when you box or fight or anything like that, because that guy's trying to snatch your dreams. You know what I mean? And you can't
Yeah.
let him do that. So will I force my kid to do any sports particularly? No, but they're all going to have to try an individual sport, a team sport, and then a one versus one sport, because I think that's super important for life and being successful. But I'll never force them to do anything. But if they ask me if they want to be the best, like my dad told me, coming up through Pee Wee and stuff like that, it's just you go out, have fun, man. You know what I mean? Like it's all fun. But you get in high school, and if you ask me, hey, dad, I want to be the best. That's what I told my dad. Dad, I want to be the best. I'm sick of losing. I don't want to lose. All right, man. And my dad didn't know nothing about wrestling, dude. He ain't know a dang thing about wrestling, but I'll show you how to be the best. And he made me work like an animal, dude. And those characteristics, they stick with me for life. So
Yeah. So so Austin, I know before you started taking sports seriously, like you were a gamer. Like you were going hard. Remember, like you used to be at them COD joints, you and Curry and wilding out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, and Nairi, you also are a gamer. You've been gaming all your life too. Has gaming? Do you think gaming played a part in your success to now at all?
Yeah, I think it did. Well, first, there's a little backstory. Is I almost went pro. I was one round away from going pro at UMG Philly, and we went with a pickup team. Curran had to get emergency scoliosis surgery, which is crazy. The one dude, whenever he realized Curran wasn't going to go, because at that point in time, Curran was probably the best player on our team. Uh, then he realized he wasn't going to fly because he was traveling from like Virginia or something like that. And then the other dude, we didn't even really like him anyway, so we didn't want him to come anyway. So I went with a whole pickup team and was one round away from placing pro. And my dad sat down with me. He's like, "Hey," he's like, "Look, you love playing Call of Duty. That's cool. And you love wrestling." He's like, "But you keep telling me you want to be the best, and you keep telling me you want to be the best of both." He's like, "That's not possible." He's like, "You need to put all your attention into one thing." And so then I quit playing all video games for like 3 years, and that's until like maybe like what sophomore year of college. We got back into playing 2K
Till we
heavy,
met,
and
until yeah, till
that's
two.
that's a that's a whole nother story. Is that 2K
Yeah,
wave?
Yeah.
dude.
But
Oh,
yeah, man, I feel like video games are one of the only places where I can actually shut my mind off, and like I'm so obsessed with what I do. Like it comes down to like you go on my Instagram, bro, it's all MMA. Everything is all MMA. Uh, if I go on YouTube, I'm watching film. Like I can't escape it, and it's good. I don't want to escape it, but from every successful athlete that I've met, they all have like an area where they could turn it off and relax. And video games is that one thing. Is like I'm still able to be an ultra competitor. And I am, man, because I'm talking heavy the whole way through. It don't matter what we're playing, man. UFC, 2K,
facts.
Call of Duty. I'm on you know what, man, and whether you're my teammate or not. Uh, but yeah, it's a nice place to turn the switch off and just have fun, man.
Yeah, nine.
Yeah, I 100% agree with Austin. Everything he said. It was I wouldn't say anything to do with my success at all. But it is like video games, just like any other media. I feel like it's just in a different category because it's something that like during them times, like it was something where you could just like just be on, even if you playing with your friends, it's a great way to bond. Like it's just something to like be on, just relax your mind, just get away from the focus of your day.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we're gonna be wrapping up soon. I'm gonna ask you guys about like three more questions. How so like for me like because obviously I was an athlete too. I ran track. Oh God, and
Hey, he was nice. He was nice though. you,
yeah, I'm
you were
sorry.
I
just you were
was.
just one of them kids that we was talking about though. The ones that
Yeah,
their heart ain't in it, but they was just like naturally
yeah,
good.
yeah. I did it. I keep it a buck. I did it just because I wanted to show that I did a sport at an
Yeah,
attempt to get more women. To be real with you,
yeah. That's
and it
facts.
worked. And it worked. Anyway, so and so young savage. I'm playing. Let me for my wife come here and smack me. I love you, babe. I said I love you. You know what I'm saying? Come on, say she love me back,
Shit,
baby.
she don't even know.
Sorry, this footage is getting deleted. So, so like my biggest issue, bro, was honestly self control. Like I did not know how to control my life whatsoever. I was wild. I was stupid, and I was out every weekend doing dumb stuff. Right. So, how important is self control? Like how for a young athlete coming up, you know, how important is it to have that in your life? And how do you think because you guys both stayed back in high school and didn't really go out, how did that help you today?
Go ahead now.
It helped out tremendously. Um, because I got an echo on my end. It helped out tremendously because there we go. It helped out tremendously, honestly, because it just kept me focused. It kept me locked in. A lot of all the distractions. It came with a price. Like it came with a cost. If you were into that stuff. Um, which I like. I said people, do it, but this is speaking on my own self. Like I felt like it was just as my pops always told me, like just stay locked in, just do what you gotta do. And I always had my fun in the sport that I did, or like and winning. Like that's where my fun came. So like I used the thought of that instead of thinking about, oh, I'm missing out, or like, oh, I should be doing this or that. But I mean, in reality, I enjoyed playing sports so much, I didn't really care about it. So yeah.
I'd agree. For me, I've always been like a homebody. I only got a few friends. A lot of people want to be my friend. I don't want to be their friend. And then a lot of things is like, you either love me or you hate me. There's no in between. So it's like, going out, man. I feel like it was a lot of trouble because I just have such a different type of personality. It's like there's never just like a hey, that's Austin. Like he's cool people's. It's like that's Austin. That's my guy, bro. That's my brother. Or that's man. That's awesome, man. I hate that dude. Uh so for me, it was just one staying out of trouble. Two, I'm right there with nine, man. I loved what I did, and a lot of people don't like being in the trenches like that, the hard work, the grind. But man, that's what I dream about. That's I'm upset. Like I said earlier, I'm obsessed with this. My lifestyle. It is my identity, which can sometimes become an issue because that's just what I love to do. There's nothing more I'd rather do than wake up and perfect my craft. So staying in it was never like, I mean, I think one time I asked my parents to go out to a party, and I did go. It wasn't even a party. It was a Sweet 16 birthday party, and I went
Wait,
there.
wait, wait.
Yeah,
Was it?
yeah, and that was like it just
Oh
like
gosh.
easily confirmed the fact that that's just not my vibe. Uh, Bro, I wanna have rich fun. You know what I mean? I wanna go on a yacht. Like I wanna be with like people like actually doing things like where we're sitting down. We're not talking about how we got trashed last weekend. We're talking about like business opportunities and like the success that we're doing. There's no fun in going into a hot muggy house party with people I don't know and I don't like. Like and then someone's gonna end up causing trouble by the end of the night. So that ain't no fun to me.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's hilarious. Uh,
Yeah, good
oh,
times, man. Good times.
my next question is: what do you think is missing from a lot of talents that like what is that missing thing that people have that athletes have that's not helping them translate their skill in high school or their whatever it is to that next level of college? What is that? What is one thing that you think is holding back a lot of athletes?
Man, understanding fundamentals, dude, because it's not. I mean, the best athletes in the world ain't doing nothing that we don't know. Like I went to ASU thinking like, man, I'm about to learn some like crazy stuff, and yeah, we train totally different than I did in high school. And part of that's just growing up, like it is a job, but you know it was very customized, but at the same time, man, all fundamentals have to be sound. And if you want to be a better athlete, you got to do the small things right. And it's not going to be that one crazy move that's going to win you a state title. It's not going to be that crazy route that's going to win you a state championship in football. It's going to be, man, are you crisp on your routes? Are you cutting when you're supposed to? If you're a DB, like are you focusing on the little things? You know what I mean? Like your basic coverages and keep like if it's man coverage or you got your eyes on the quarterback, or you got your eyes on the wide out. You know what I mean? Like what are you playing? Uh, Fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. I can't express it enough, man.
Bet. Nari?
Um, I actually feel like I see it two ways. Some people can have put in all the work. What's holding them back is actually either their coaches or their recognition. Um, I feel like a lot of athletes do put in the work. They may be at a school that's not the most winning in school, and they don't get recognized, or they don't have the coaches that are properly setting them up for the next level, or coaches that are very inexperienced, or even just training and getting their body ready for the season. Could come from that, because you need coaches to teach. But what a player can do itself is just do what people aren't, like, do the work when people aren't doing, when the lights ain't or the cameras ain't on. That just goes for life. Just do the work on that off season, in them times when people don't want to do it, like that will set you apart. Um, and really just what also really like is important is just doing like having fun doing just knowing that you had the confidence to really like do what you love because it's a sport that you've probably played your whole life and it's something that you know that you're great at and you've been putting in work. Just have confidence and do it and know that you've been doing the work.
Yeah. It feels like, and like I know for us it wasn't as crazy. I feel like now it's probably magnified to a uncrazy like level, but you know, a lot of people don't put in the work when the camera's off. People want to turn on the camera, show how they're working, and the reality is
Yeah,
like when you're in the dark room, like when you get off your phone and it actually like like when you're that young, man, you need to just focus on your game, bro. You need to focus on what you're doing, and that might change now, maybe because but with high school, there's a brand you can get paid now in high school and college. Maybe that might change, but you know, I think that at least what I've seen from you and Austin, that probably Austin now because he's going, is that um, I think Austin, you're very prideful, which I think you have to be in the kind of business that you're in. Like you have to. If you're not prideful, then you're probably going to get knocked out. But I also think you become you know how to switch from being a master and a student.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like like, all right, this is when I'm the master. When I'm facing you in the ring, I'm looking to kill you. I'm looking to knock you out. But when I'm with Henry Cejudo, name drop, I love him. Sorry, he's at a cool gym. And when I'm training with John Jones, and I'm going to put a photo of him and John Jones for clickbait. You know how to switch it up. How do you stay so humble, but you also know like when to turn it on? You know what I mean? In certain situations.
I have a question after that too.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of like, it's crazy to think, but like, even even the guys who ain't done it, like, there's so many, like we were talking about earlier. There's so many guys in the gym that like ain't really done it under the lights, but you watch them in the practice room, and they're just like, man, it just like leaves you speechless. You're like, man, how is this guy not going out there and showing the world? Like, so it's like, man, you could truly learn anything from anybody. Uh, you gotta be like you said, being a master, like that's just confidence, man. It's I work so hard. I'm not gonna let you steal my dream. You know what I mean? So if I'm fighting against you, whether you on paper you could be a minus 1,000 favorite against me, I think I'm gonna rip your head off, and I got to think that because
Yeah.
otherwise you're gonna take my dream from me. Uh, but then it's not just only like the Cejudos and the John Jones and all those names. I mean, we have so many great talents coming over at Fight Ready and training and stuff like that. Uh, but I'm learning from the guy at the bottom of the roster, just like at the top of the roster. And obviously, you definitely listen when Henry Cejudo speaks, you listen. John Jones speaks, you listen, because those guys are the best at what they do. But everybody can bring something to the table, and it's just that white belt mentality, bro. That's why I want to carry that on through life, man. Whatever my next chapter is, start my own business, because damn well I ain't working no job. Uh,
Yeah.
whether it be media promotion or anything, man. White belt mentality, dude. You can learn from anybody.
Yeah.
There's
Nah,
always
bro.
something to be learned.
Bro, we are starting the next old man and the three. It's going to be old man and the punch. You know what I mean? You be the old man, I'll be the punch. All right, we're going to be the next JJ Redick podcast. I'm just say the word. This MMA takeover podcast productions. Don't worry, bro. I already got it written up, bro.
You get that MMA joint going.
Yeah, bro. Nah, yo, look, nah, bro. I'm gonna wait. I give you about 15 to 20 years from now, maybe 10, maybe 8. I don't know. You never know, bro. What if you go fight Devin Haney and then you make your 30 mil? I don't know what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You just let me know what we gonna do, and we'll start this thing up. All I'm saying is, bro. All I'm saying is, if the boxing match hits you up, you gotta take it. That's all I'm saying. You
Man,
can't
I
say
ain't
no.
boxing. I ain't boxing Devin Haney, bro. I get my head jabbed off, bro. I'll bring him in the MMA cage.
All right. Here we go. Austin Clayton versus Jake Paul.
Maybe. All right, man. No, I'm kidding. No, No, yeah, maybe down the road with my striking, but I ain't boxing nobody
Yeah.
right now, man.
Austin
Keep me out
Clayton.
of there.
Oh wait, Austin Clayton, Tommy Fury. Say no.
Yeah, that's damn near better, bro. Hey, I actually gained some respect for Jake Paul, dude. Like, I'm not gonna like go like I'm not gonna like say he's anything like crazy, but dude's game to fight. Like he wants to fight, bro. Tommy Fury, but Tommy Fury got everything to lose because he is the actual boxer. He goes to lose to Jake Paul, that's a bad look. But
Yeah.
I mean, at least Jake Paul's game and ready to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't hate
Yeah.
on him for that.
Exactly. Nari, you said you had a question for us?
Yeah, and you as well. How do y'all feel about athletes, in particular high schoolers, that already have the publicity? Like, what effect does that have on their teammates? What effect does it have on the high school athlete? Like, that they already got either millions of followers or thousands of followers. Like, is that too much to their head that they don't need at that age? That's really my question.
Man, I like see. I go both ways. I think it's amazing, dude. I think it's an awesome opportunity for these kids to provide for. A lot of these kids are providing for their families, dude, at 16, 17, 18 years old, and they ain't even made it to the league or anything, dude. Like I think that's a beautiful thing. But yeah, obviously it's gonna be hard, but it's just like anything in life, like you got these superstar prodigy actors growing up, like in the spotlight hits. You got people like Justin Bieber who 15, 16 years old. They're gonna make mistakes along the way. Everything's gonna be under a magnifying glass. But man, I think the blessings outweigh the negative. And it all that is gonna do is it's just gonna show who you really are faster. You know what I mean? It's just like a lot of people say, like, man, when I make money, nah, you're that person, bro. When you start making money, it's just gonna magnify who you already were. Uh, so ultimately, it just shows who these kids already are and who they're gonna be eventually. And there's gonna be slip ups. They're kids, they're immature, they're young, but as a whole, I think it's great, dude. And I think,
Yeah.
man, for the team, bro, you got to be on that wave with them. You got to be supporting them. So
Yeah. I mean, the school system sucks so bad that it's come to this, if we're keeping it real with you. The way that our government is set up, the way that, the way school works is just like they don't teach us how to write. They don't teach us what a check is. They don't teach us how to file taxes. They don't teach us that, hey, if you own your own business, you're gonna have to pay taxes. They don't teach us about buying houses. They don't teach us about rent. They don't teach us about apartments. They don't teach us about car insurance. Like so,
it brings an
um
entrepreneurial side to everything
exactly.
because it's like you got to market yourself. Like no one's gonna do it for you. A lot of
Exactly.
these kids are doing it
So
themselves.
exactly because the school system sucks so bad, and I'm pretty sure we all agree to that. The school system is trash.
That's a whole
Um,
nother pod, but
yeah,
I got
exactly.
heat.
Same here. Same, oh yeah, business tech, Miss Burnett. We got some heat for you. And yeah, I'm saving that too. But yeah, but like with that being said, with having a manager, dog, you think I'm playing? With having a manager and things like that, it's like the kid is you're actually experiencing what you're going to do before you even get there, and I think that's kind of building kind of like a invisible pad for the kid, because usually what happens is, at least from my perspective, from what I've seen on podcasts, a lot of people go in the league young and they get taken advantage of. They get into crappy endorsement deals. They get into they sign a bunch of stuff and they have no education of what to do. They hire bad managers. When you're young, and I mean, it can go either way. It could go either way. But I think that the publicity is good, but obviously anything that's good can also turn into bad. So it's
And I
just
do
all
say
about.
when it goes for the fans, going for the fans, I think the fans are gonna hurt more from it because there's gonna be a lot of top prospects that burn out before they even make it to the league because you know, uh, and don't quote me on this because I don't want to come off as like I'm hating or anything, but like Mikey Williams, right? I only follow a little bit, but it seems like he was a stud a few years ago, and it's just like now it's sort of like who's that one dude? The one dude, he's like little Steph Curry dude, small
Oh,
dude.
you're talking
You know
about
Julian.
Julian
Yeah.
Newman.
Yes, like that dude was actually
Can't
cold,
stand him.
and he started making bread, and then now it's like now
He's just too
it's
short.
all for the but it's all for the media now. You know what I mean? Now it's all for the
Yeah.
media. So I feel like as a fan, you're gonna miss out on a lot of talents because, dude, some people just it's just like they fulfill their hunger. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
only
It
playing
definitely
just
hurts the
they want
grind.
to. Yeah. So it could
It
hurt
definitely
that
hurt
for
the
sure.
grind. Yeah, because I mean, what if LeBron got the bag in high school? Would he have?
It wouldn't change because look at him, bro. Look at him. You know what I mean?
No,
And
yeah, I'm
that
saying,
dude was getting he had the bag, bro. Don't let
yeah.
nobody fool you,
I,
bro. That
I
dude
was just
was
making
getting paid before he
theoretical.
was getting
Yeah,
paid.
yeah, true. Yeah, that's probably everyone, right?
But no,
Right.
there's a lot of athletes that maybe you wouldn't have been able to see him if that was the
Yeah.
case.
Yeah, Bron. I shouldn't say Bron. And I'm the biggest LeBron stan ever. So LeBron, I love you. I didn't
Probably
think
like Kevin Durant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That guy. That guy. Oh man.
Ah!
Kevin Durant, yup.
That's
Or
my favorite player.
Steph Curry. Say not play. But for real though, like, I do think it hurts the grind because like a lot of kids are like they living in like they might live in like a freaking apartment that's the size of your bedroom now, and it's like when you reach that feat, sometimes you might just say, you know what, I'm
You get,
good. Sorry.
no,
I
you
put you
good.
on mute on accident. Sorry.
You get
And
comfortable.
it's yeah, bro. And it's like, imagine your mother's making like 20,000 or 40,000 a year, and you sign a $1.5 million deal, or even imagine us getting 100 grand in 11th grade.
Facts.
Right.
I will love it. I'll probably drop out of high school, honestly, personally, but yeah. So, but yeah, all right. So thank Austin. Thank you for staying on with us, bro. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. Just to let you guys know, this ain't gonna be the last time you're gonna see him. He's gonna be on a whole lot more. He is a friend of the show, in the words of Joe, my boy Joe Budden. You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm definitely gonna have you on for the school convo because I know we have a lot of smoke.
No,
For
I'm
that.
down. I got a lot of things I would love to talk about, bro. I had a lot of fun. This was much more
For
fun than
sure.
I thought it would be.
Of course. So yeah, man. Guys, before you do anything, please like and subscribe and show some love. We do have some t-shirts that are going to be dropping soon, so we're going to put the link in probably below, so you can go to our store, cop some essential merch, and it's going to say Essential Vibes because we are the vibe. We set the vibe. And I just want to say this. All right, we created this podcast because there are so many people and there's so many people that go on Facebook and go on Instagram and they argue and they debate in comment sections. Comment sections don't change the world. Comment sections don't help anything. What helps is an honest, intentional conversation, and that is what we have on this podcast. The same way you saw me, Austin, and I sit and have a conversation about school and about what the effects of sports can have. These are the conversations that these are the conversations that are going to change the world. Okay, so thank you guys for listening and becoming a part of that. And if you have something to say, if you want to debate me, I am open for all the smoke, and I will have you on this podcast as soon as possible. So, you guys listening, have a wonderful day and peace out.